have joined to the lesson. Okay. Well, yeah, Zainuddin is here now. If you can hear me, Zainuddin, if everything is fine, I will tell. I was actually talking about Zainuddin. Zainuddin, I was happy to get your both of your essays, your report and task two essay. You sent them first, and that was great. Although your level of English was the lowest comparing to everybody in this group, you did it well. You did it first. I didn't check it, but you did it first. I think you did something good. But still, if you work on yourself, you're going to do much better. Great. Let's take these questions, all of them together, and let's take the steps. What that you would do in order to get a high score from IELTS writing writing test. Okay, so you've got task one and task two. As you can see, you've got task one and task two. 1 second, please. I need to, yeah, here you go. If everything is fine and if everything is normal, I mean, with the connection and my voice, then I can slowly start explaining the steps that you would take, that I would take if I were you, as a normal examinee. So I gave you a little bit more than 1 hour. I said at 3 we're going to start the lesson, but it was somewhere like 5 minutes to 2, so you had more than 1 hour, something like 1 hour 5 minutes. Yeah, maybe some of you got it later, but most of you got it on time. I checked if you guys got them, the questions. All right. So what would you do if you were in the real exam situation? What I would do if I was in the real exam situation? I would take a look at task one and task two, but generally, as I always say, task two worth more than task one. So I would pay more attention to task two, and then that means I would start my writing test by writing task two. So well, you guys remember, I guess, and I hope you guys remember every single step that you need to do in order to write a good writing task two essay. You need to do all the steps. You need to have plan. You need to write, and then you need to check. So I guess you remember all of these things. Although we've been doing speaking practice for the last 2 weeks, I hope that you didn't forget those things that we have learned before 2 weeks, and I hope that you did well. But I can still feel that you guys have some minor problems. So what I would do if I were you, I would take that question, copy it to my Word program. Yes, I have copied that question down here, as you can see. Down here, I have copied, and then I have started analyzing and doing those steps that you need, what that I would do in the normal test. So yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but still, it makes it easier for you to write your essay. Is once again checking the connection and my voice. Is everything clear? Can you understand everything? Because I'm going to start the most interesting part of her lesson, and I will explain them in details. If we have enough time, I will check one or two of your essays, and then I'll give you feedback. Is everything fine? Madina says yes, fine. What about the rest of you? We've got 9 more people. We're here. Kamush, that's great. Kamala, Eldar, Murajan, nice, fine, good. Okay, so I think and I hope everything is going to be clear and precise for you, to you, because after this lesson, I want you to practice again and do more writings. Because in this quarantine period, I wanted to make sure that you guys will have no problems after we finish this course with related to writing, related to speaking. So hopefully very soon we're going to meet each other. I hope very much that on 10th of May it's going to end this quarantine period. then we might probably meet each other and do something in a live lesson. Um, okay, so coming back to the lesson, first thing that you need to do, I will make them a bit bigger so that you can see. Okay, even more. Let's make it 18. Yes. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the question, and then I started analyzing it. So first thing that I need to do is to write down the question type. What is the question type? It's a cause and solution. There is a cause. Yes, there is a cause, and then you need to write a solution. When you have this type of question, it means you, it doesn't mean that you have the cause already. You need to write down what are the causes to this problem. You need to write down the causes, and you need to write down a solution to every single cause. But it doesn't mean that in one essay you need to show two or three or more problems, causes. For example, yes, the question says, what do you think are the causes and of these problems and what the measurements could be taken to solve them. But to make it easier and to make it clear for you, you can write only one cause and you can write only one solution to that cause. You don't need to write 10 causes in 10 solutions because you will not be able to write all of them within 250 words. So if you understand me, I will explain that again. I will say that again. I'm sorry. You need to write only one cause with only one solution related to that cause, and that's going to be enough in order to fill up 250 words in writing task two. So I wrote down the type of question. It's a cause and solution. General topic was weight of people and their health. This is how do people weigh? Do they get bigger, fatter, or do they get smaller? Yeah, and thinner. Yes, so it's a general topic. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about their health. Is the health of some people getting better, or is it getting worse? It's not the topic that we need to talk. The topic, specific topics are health and fitness levels decrease while average weight increases. So that's the specific topic. Health and fitness levels decrease while average weight increase. Okay, so that's a specific topic that we need to uh, clarify to ourselves, and then that we need to write about during our essay. So I made the question easier, and the easier question was, why are people getting more obese? Obese means fat. Yeah, obese is a synonym for the word fat. Why are people getting more obese, and what can be done to improve their level of health and fitness? So, um, the question here, the first part of your question, if you take a look over here, in some countries, the average weight of people is increasing and their levels of health and fitness are decreasing. It's not that some people say and others don't say this. This is a fact. So you're not going to touch this part of the question. The question comes after that. This is a fact. Again, I'm telling you again that the sentence that is given first in your question booklet, in some countries, the average weight of people is increasing and their level of health and fitness are decreasing. This is a fact. You're not going to argue with this. You're not going to give your opinion. You are not going to say, I agree with this, because this is already like that. This is a fact. It's not that you need to agree or disagree. This is a cause and solution essay. And on the other hand, you've got the question like this: what do you think are the causes? What are the causes? This is fact, and what are the causes for that? And what could be a solution in order to resolve that problem? Now you're going to go down and you're going to start writing about that. Easier question would be, why are people getting more obese and what can be done to improve their level of health and fitness? So when you're generating ideas, you need to, yeah, you need to think about two things. One is reasons. Okay, so you need to think about the reasons. What are the reasons? And the next ideas that you should generate it are for solutions. What are the reasons and what are the solutions for that? So I made two reasons and I made two solutions because I can write only one reason and only one solution. As I have mentioned above, I said I can write only one reason, only one cause, and one solution to that cause, explaining everything in detail. So, in order not to make a very small, let's say, idea generation process, I wrote two ideas for both reasons and solutions. I wrote less movement because of technology, if you agree with me, and fast food consumption. So people are not eating healthy food. These are the two facts that I think are going to help me, and I'm going to choose one of them. I'm going to choose and write about one. I'm going to, uh, let's say, give detailed look at one of these reasons. And the next thing, I'm going to talk. I have to talk about solutions. Nira, sorry for not participating. Our Wi-Fi works badly. Okay, no problem, Sir Manira. You can watch this later. Okay, so then I wrote some solutions to those problems. So the first solution was visit sport clubs or at least make a habit of jogging either in the mornings or in the evenings. So I got my first problem, which is a less movement because of technology. Because I remember when I was a child, I instead of a remote control for the TV, which we have now, I used to be a remote control of my father or my parents. They would say, "Can you turn it to another channel?" So I had to stand up, move towards the TV, well, change the channel, and then come back to sit down. But if they don't like it after 2 minutes, they could also say, "Change it to another channel again." So I had to move all the time there and back in order to change. It's not the thing that I'm not gonna say that I did it because of my parents, but it happened the same with me. If I didn't like to watch one program in this channel, I had to stand up, go and change, and come back to sit. It's not the only technology improvement that made our movements less. The computers. We don't need to send letters by writing them and going to a post to send to someone. We can text it without moving anywhere. We can lie on our bed, write down the text that we want to send, and send it right there. Our there are many other improvements. For example, while you're cooking, when you want to smash or when you want to make the meat into small pieces, right? You want to make this meat into small pieces. You have to do this with some kind of movement like this every time when you want to make them like that. But nowadays the technology improved, so you can put the meat into a machine which makes it smashed for you. You don't need to work it out yourself. So everything that comes to technology and everything that is improving our life, in one sense they are improving our lives, but on the other hand it is not improving our health, because you're moving less, and that makes you get fatter. And of course, as the more fat you get, the more problems you get. So um, yeah, that was my first problem, and a small solution for that. My second problem was fast food consumption, and in order to remove that, consume better, healthier food as vegetables and fruits. So I can choose which idea could be better for me to explain. So I think technology would be a better idea for me to take as my general question for this essay. So it depends on you. The reasons, the causes that you write could be more different, a lot more different. You can write 10 causes, but don't spend that much time. Again, I say do not do Brainstorm. When you do a brainstorming, you go far away from the topic. You might think of those things that are not really much related to your topic. So in order to make that process easier, you're thinking of a couple of, or let's say, three or four things that you have to present in your essay. So what are the things that you need to do? That are all they are all given here, and you need to just take a look and remind yourself all the steps that you have to do in order to write a good essay. So then I wrote the synonyms, and I didn't write every synonym because I didn't spend my time writing this down, but I had to do this. The same thing that you have to do. You don't need to skip this process. So I took as much words as possible, like country, increasing weight, level of health, increase, decrease, problems, causes, solutions, and measurements. So then I could write those words down. These words are going to be helpful for me in order to move on next to my next essays. I'm sure that I'm going to write more essays in my life. I'm talking from your perspective. Um, I'm sure that I'm going to check more essays than you do, but you are going to write more essays. Well, in your real test, you're going to write one essay, but until then, you need to write more and more and more. You need to write down. I didn't write all the synonyms again. I was not able to accomplish it. I was busy with other things to do. So I wrote for country, increasing weight and level of health. You can watch it later. But I advise you to write to every single word that you need to use in your IELTS writing test too. So the next step that I had to do was structure. I need to put down the structure that I'm going to use for my essay. So I wrote down introduction. In my introduction, what would I do? I would paraphrase the question, write one major problem for obesity, and write one good solution to resolve it. Okay, I can write two or more um, problems, but then I had to state again, I have to state again that the major problem is this, because I would show the examiner who's going to check my essay that this is the topic that I'm going to show you in my essay. This is the topic that I'm going to be I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to write more on this problem. I can write down two or three causes, but again, I would say, okay, this one is the major cause, I think, and I believe this could be a solution for that. I can show two or three causes, but I will have to definitely show one major solution for that specific problem. I can't write, okay, this are the problems, and this for this solution, this for that solution. I will make my essay complicated, and I can then find myself also as I have mixed up many things. You don't want to find yourself in that situation, and you don't want to show that you don't really know how to write a proper essay. A proper essay should be, again, it should be really understandable, coherent, and cohesive, without grammar mistakes, vocabulary mistakes. Well, small mistakes are okay, but not, again, not the very big mistakes. Again, I always repeat, minor spelling mistakes are totally fine, even if you want to get a high score. Minor spelling mistakes are totally fine in writing and speaking. Well, of course, yeah, in speaking, you are not going to make spelling mistakes, but you can make some small mistakes while you're speaking. But here, you may make some minor spelling mistakes, which will still keep your high score. Okay, so don't worry if you make, but it doesn't mean that you can make hundreds of minor spelling mistakes. If you add up all these minor things, they're going to be one big. So one big mistake is going to lead you to get a low score from IELTS. Okay, so then I had to write down my body part. So in my main body part one, I need to restate the major problem. That's the topic sentence. Explain why it is a major problem, and then give one example. So in my next main body part two, I had to write down my topic sentence by restating the solution, then explain why is that solution is a good solution, and give one good example to that. So when I'm concluding, when I come to conclusions, I need to summarize the problem and solution, and yeah, restate everything that I have mentioned about in my essay. I guess that was clear for everybody. I guess that was pretty much understandable for everybody. Um, and now let me take a look at your essays. I will start from those people who have sent me their essays first, and then I will directly go to those who haven't done. Okay, I'm not going to check task one right now because I haven't explained how to approach the task one. Sultan, well, okay, let's start. So I have made an agreement with Murajan. Muazzam, she only sent me her introduction. That's not enough. Muazzam, if you're over here, if you're participating in our lesson, you need to write down the whole essay. Go back and write down the whole essay. It's not enough. I know that you got the question very late, but yeah, I'm not going to check partial essay because I need to have the whole essay. I will check everybody's essay, everybody, ever. Even if you are not participating, it's for those who are not participating in our lesson. I will check every single one of your essays. I will not leave you like that, even if you say, oh, teacher, I was not able to participate. You're going to watch this video later, and you're going to learn everything in details before you write. That's um, but I will give you one score less because you were not able to do it on time. So Kumushi has sent me her. Okay, Kumushi has sent me your. Okay, yeah, people are sending now. Kumush was the first person to send me her essay. Yep. And she wrote she was not able to write down the whole writing task one. Okay, let's take a look at Kumush's essay, if you don't mind. Okay, she wrote, what's that? She wrote down paraphrase to cause the status body. Okay. In many countries, the well-being and wow, it's so hard, it's so difficult to understand, and availability of people. Kumash, I will ask you, I will beg you, please send it to me by typing. Resend it to me later because I can correct it in a Word format, give you more detailed corrections, and explain you what to do. And it's very difficult to understand. If you're here, are you here? Can you get what I'm saying? Kumush. Um, yes, she's here. Kumush, you're here. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see that you're here. Uh, but again, I will ask you to rewrite it on your computer, or you can text it on your Telegram and send it to me. Then I can give you more detailed explanation on what to do and how to improve. Okay, Kamala, good. Kamala, I guess she has sent both of the essays. Good. Okay, let's take a look at Kamala's essay. If you don't mind, Kamala, we're here to check your essay. Some people argue that nowadays the middle weight. Are you here, Kamala, by the way? I just want to make sure if she's here. Yeah, Kamala is here. Good. Kamala, is everything fine? Can you hear me? Okay, yes, good. Some people argue that nowadays the middle weight of people is increasing dramatically compared with the previous years, while the health and physical education lessons are fitness as fitness come down. In this following paragraphs, we will analyze the reasons and purpose some people's solutions to avoid them. That's good. I guess you have corrected already. you have heard my feedback. I didn't give it to you exactly. I was giving it to everybody, but I remember that you wrote, I agree with this. So yeah, you need to exactly understand that this is not an agree or disagree essay. This is a cause and solution. So again, you wouldn't be starting. Some people argue. They don't argue with it. Okay, so you took the part away where you wrote that you agree with the statement. Um, yeah, don't need to correct now. Don't worry. That's totally fine. I'm just giving you feedback, and that feedback is going to be for everybody. Generally, I have read your essay already. The moment that you sent, that was great, but some general mistakes that you have to correct. This is again, this is a cause and solution. So you need to take away this. Some people argue. Now is that okay? So just start. Nowadays, the middle weight of people is increasing dramatically compared with previous years, while health and physical educational lessons as fitness come down. Um, it's um, they are not talking about the lessons that are coming down. They are in the question is stating that the health of people, well, their well-being, their welfare, not welfare, but sorry, their well-being, their health is decreasing. So, but you have re paraphrased the question by writing education lessons. You don't need to write. This is a problem that is making this their health go down. Okay, so you need to paraphrase not by changing the whole topic overall. You need to paraphrase the question, but the meaning should stay the same as it was in the question. So nowadays, da, 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 while health and physical well-being of their population are coming down. In these following paragraphs, we will analyze the reasons and purpose, some possible solutions to avoid. Yeah, okay. So um, I feel like since we have stopped writing essays, you were not writing, you didn't write lots of essays, and then you forgot a little bit about the structure. Okay, so please do not stop. Write at least one essay every other day. Not every day. It would be great if you can write every day one essay. But if you write, well, at least one essay every other day, that would be fantastic. Okay, so don't keep up like that. Some people are sending me some kind of messages. Okay. Um, oh God, I've got 5 minutes left. I will try to manage it. Chief, chief among the reasons. Okay, chief among the reasons why not is we have plethora of problems associated with the obesity is that lack of physical activities according to okay, so don't forget to write according to numerous researchers, it was found that lack of experience is a major factor in weight gain. Lack of exercise. Okay. For instance, the skyscraper and fitness and nowadays were too much dependent on our cars and get into two methods. The second factor with okay, here I wouldn't recommend you to write two things in one paragraph. If you want to write about the one and second factors, divide them into two paragraphs. That's fine. If you want to, if you feel like you can not manage to write down 250 words to fill up this essay, um, one factor should be shown in one paragraph. If you want to state the second factor, this is the second factor. You are starting it within your sentence. The first three words are the second factor, which means you need to divide. Again, the examiner might understand that you are not able to correctly divide the paragraphs into their correct place. Okay, so very important for you to divide them into two because you're stating two factors. So again, I will say that it's not important for you to write two factors in one. As you can state those factors in your introduction, you can say, okay, I think this are the causes, and the major one, which I'll be talking about, is this one, and I will give you this solution in details in my essay. Okay. The second factor which leads to increasing overweight individuals among population is development of fast food. Yeah, you see, we have almost the same ideas. That's great. I think that these are the most easiest ideas that could normal person have in their mind. That's great. But again, I urge you not to write two ideas in one paragraph. First of all, key of solving, key for, key factor, key thing for solving this issue, not of, key for solving this issue surrounded by obesity and overweight problem is to solve by making is best is best to solve by taking a long-term approach and introducing more sports and exercise in school at schools. From my point of view, these methods will improve that the next generation will be healthier compared with nowadays. Second method is for, yeah, okay, so good. You see, you have wrote one and two causes in one paragraph, and you wrote two solutions in one paragraph. That's in IELTS writing, they are also checking coherence and cohesion. It it's not correct when you want to write a cohesive essay. You write one problem. Right after that, you write its solution. Then you write another problem. And right after that, you write its solution. This is cohesive, that it's coming meaningfully step by step. Okay? So very important. I don't know how many words you wrote, but let's check. Let's check if you wrote 282. You see, that's great. The number of words that you wrote, 200 or 282, but you wrote two ideas. You could divide them into more paragraphs. That's fine. You don't need to have like exactly three paragraphs or four paragraphs. You can divide them into more paragraphs. By the way of conclusion, to deal with increasing a society of unfit, in my opinion, the best solution to this problem is promoting an active lifestyle. Stick to above mentioned methods to avoid increasing obesity. Yeah, that's great. Your conclusion was, I mean, is great. I like it, but the above, I have already told you your mistakes. Okay, I've got less than 1 minute. We're going to jump out in some seconds. I'll be back again. Those who were not able to finish, go on work in 15 minutes. We'll get in touch. I can see that only four of you have joined the lesson. The rest of you, I guess they are writing their essays. Mm, but did I send? Yes, I did. Did. Wow. Okay. So task one. So in task one, what you need to do is, again, you're going to take a copy of this, put it in your Word. Um, okay, so you can type this, and then 1 second, please. Oh, right. So here is our part one. I'm sorry, task one. I'm thinking like we're talking about speaking parts. This is task one of our writing tasks, writing test. So in your, is it recording? Yeah, it is. In your task one, after accomplishing task two, you're slowly going to task one, and then the same process is going to happen with your task one. You're going to plan, then you're going to write, and then you're going to check. These three steps must be done within 20 minutes. Okay, as you can see in this test, we've got line graphs, where the line graphs show the quantity of goods transported in the UK between 1974 and 2002 by different modes of transport. The same, almost the same thing happens within your task one. You need to paraphrase the question. So what the structure looks like in task one. In your task one, your structure looks like this. First, you need to paraphrase the question by introducing your topic. That's the introduction. Okay, so after introducing your topic, you're going to write the overview. Overview. Okay, so you're going to write the introduction, then you're going to write the overview, and then you're going to write the details that you think are the most important details for this specific report. So summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. So you're going to write down this relevant information, which is very specific for this very line graph. Okay, so what we're going to write down again, paraphrasing is not so difficult. In order to make a good paraphrasing paraphrase sentence, what you need to do is to uh, take some words, make their synonyms. I mean, translate them, write down their synonyms, and then you can write your paraphrased answer to this report. So after that, you need to write, as I said, you need to write down the overview. When you're writing the overview, you're not allowed to show any numbers. You're not allowed to write down details. Your overview means that you're generally stating what happened overall in this report. So I would advise you to feel like you are a worker of one big company, and you have a boss to report. So you should take this task like that. If you have a boss to report and you know that your boss is not very, he doesn't really have a lot of time to take a look to every single details that that is there, and you wouldn't be writing every single movement of every single graph because your boss doesn't have enough time to do it. I mean, to read it. So you want to show exactly what happened overall. In your overview, you can say, okay, you're going to write down what happened with the road transportation, what happened with water transportation, what happened with rail transportation, and what happened with pipeline transportation. As you can see here, over how long is it? So it's like 30, it's 6 from here, 20 from there, 26, 28 years. It's almost like 3 decades, yes? From 1974 to 2002, there are 3 decades past. A decade, as you know, is a sum of 10 years. So here, as you can see, you can write down um, over 3 decades, over almost 3 decades, the uh, transported goods via or through by the means of road has increased. So it was, you don't need to write down the numbers when you're writing your overview. Again, I'm telling you, it's very crucial to write an overview as a second sentence in your report. Your first sentence is a paraphrased question. So you're going to paraphrase the question, make one positive sentence, affirmative sentence, and then After that sentence, you're going to write the overview. While you're writing the overview, you are not writing the numbers. You're showing general trends, what happens. So you say you're going to write down, okay, from this till this year, or you can say over the last 30 decades, the number of goods transported through the means of road has plus, you see, the number for water also has increased, and the number for pipeline also has increased. Almost like it's. Let's take a look. You need to analyze first before you write. You should analyze. As I said, you need to plan. But I just went to the writing process. As you can see, it's somewhere between 70, and it went up like uh, nearly close to 100. uh, this was somewhere 40 and then went to somewhere close to 70. So as you can see, like 30 million tons increased, for 30 million tons for road, 30 million tons for water, and a little bit less than 20 million tons for pipeline. Um, but at the same time, you can see that the railway usage has not increased at all. It was 40 and it almost stayed there. So in your overview, what you want to do is to show, yeah, you guys want to say something, you one by one are turning your voice. If anybody wants to say something, just go ahead and say if you guys have any questions. If you don't have any questions, I will continue. Okay, so you're going to, in your state overview, you're going to state that this road, water, and pipeline has increased over this period, over 3 decades, over almost 3 decades. You don't need to write exactly 3 decades because it's not exactly 3 decades. It was, if it was 2004, then it would be 3 decades. Yeah, it's like 2 years less than 3 decades. You can say for almost over 3 decades. For almost 3 decades. Okay, so you're going to write down that these three means of transportation has increased while the railway went a little bit down and come back to the same level. So you're going to generally state, for example, the number for road road transport goods has been always increasing. Yes, in some years it decreased, but comparing to the pipeline, which has always been increased, and comparing to the water, which had a slight decrease in 1998, uh, the numbers for pipeline transportation were always increasing. So what you can do in this case, you can divide them into these categories. Like you can say pipeline transportation means we're constantly improving throughout these years, while water and road transportation means we're having fluctuation, but overall the numbers have increased for almost over 30 million tons. Well, at the same time, the numbers of rail transported goods went down until 90, during in the middle of this years. You're not, again, you're not stating the dates, the numbers. You're not stating the numbers in your overview. This is not correct. In your overview, you're giving a general picture of the whole report. As I always say, your report should be like this. For example, yeah, if I have never seen this line graph before, but I want to read your report and write down or draw the same line graph, I would be able to understand it from your report. Okay, so you're going to state the main trends in your body parts. So in your body parts, you can say that for roads, it's increased until not 1992, but in the period of from 1992 to 1995, the numbers have slightly decreased, while then they have sharply increased to almost 100, where you can also state the others like that. Well, I think this line graph didn't make a lot of problems for you, so I can go back and check someone's writing. According to the study average weight, okay, that was writing task 2. I will check it, Joel. I will check it later and let you know exactly your result. Madina, please rewrite it, retext it, retype it. Okay. I wrote task 1 and task 2's planning. No, that's not correct. Ron didn't join even. No, right. You got only introduction of task 1. Okay, I think I can take a look at this. The graph is mainly devoted to the 4 best transport systems in the UK from 1974 to 20. Is Sultan here? Unfortunately, he's not here. I will have to work with the report of a person who is here. Who is here? Yes. Okay. Ryan Jonathan Lobek is here. The graph gives information about 4 uh, type of goods transported in the UK between 1974 and 2002. I don't see a very good paraphrasing. Okay, Zanadan, he wants him to be checked. Okay, that's good. Zanadan, we're here. I'm gonna check yours. The graph illustrates the graph illustrates the amount of goods of transported goods, not goods of transported, of the amount of transported goods in the UK. Among delimiter, it's not correct if you say among, because among is used for more than 2 numbers. If you want to write 3 or 4 numbers, then you can use among. But when you're writing 2 numbers like 1974 and 2002, you are allowed to use only between. Okay, between 1974 and 2002 by 4 different modes of transport of 4 different modes of transportation would be much better. This graph shows that in the UK, the volume of freight transport by road. Yeah, who wants to say something? Kamala, you want to say something? Oh yeah, you guys are suddenly pressing that voice button on. I know that it's suddenly happening, but today it's like happening too much. All of you are like trying to play games with me, I guess. Okay, so overview: the volume of freight traffic. Okay, now just take a look. Just take a look. Mm, what do you want to say? Freight traffic in the UK increased by 4 transfers between fried traffic deganda nima demoqchi bo'lganingizni men tushunmadim. Tak, keyin overview. You need to write right after introduction. You write introduction. Right after introduction, you need to write your overview and then give details. Okay, so you introduce the topic, you give a general view of that topic, and then you start giving the details. Okay, so the graph shows in the UK, the volume of freight transported by road from 1974 to 2002 increased and at an average rate from 1990 and from Bopopta 1974 to 2002, and in 2002 amounted to 202 million tons. In 1990, shipments fell sharply, but the following years their volume fell slowly. For example, but the Bomida, it's not essay. This is a report. You can't give examples. You need to be specific, and you need to write down every single thing in details right from the line graph or the graphs that are given to you. You can't write for example. You can say, okay, here it's like that, here it is like this. So you should write down exactly your answer to every single thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, generally, I think I have clearly explained everything to you, how to approach task 1 and task 2. Well, I guess we'll run out of time again. Guys, if you have any questions, please fire them away. Please write them. Right? Yes, but I understand what is it. But the freight, and the volume of freight transported bo'lmaydi. The freight o'zi уже transportationni ma'nosini уже ichiga olib kirib ketyapti-da. Okay, so you don't write freight with transportation. This is the same. They are the same words. You don't need to write them together. That's going to be counted as a mistake. That's not going to be correct. All right. So otherwise, on the other hand, you can write one or the second one. Okay, you guys have any questions? Any questions? Please fire them away, because we're going to have our lesson finished in very soon, and maybe you will not have enough question. I will send you one more mock test, and I will check how well you've done the second mock test. I will give you one more time, 1 hour exactly to do that mock test also. Don't be demotivated. Be motivated. That's those who have written their essays. It's good. I like it. You've done good report, Zainuddin. I'm pretty much happy with the way that you've responded. That's good. I like it. You have started writing. It's great. Yeah. 2 months ago, no one would be able to say that Zainuddin would write 2 essays in 1 hour. I'm happy you did it. I'm happy for the rest of you also, but that doesn't mean that you can give up with continuing to write. You need to write and write and write and write. That's how we're going to improve. The same way with the speaking. But yeah, before our lesson ends and before my battery of my computer ends, you guys, I guess you have questions. Please fire them away. Savollar bormi? Savollar. Task 1ni ham, task 2ni ham qanaqa qilib approach qilishni to'liq tushuntirib berdim. No questions. Demak, no questions bo'lmasa, hamma essay, hamma reportlarni hammanglarnikini bittalab tekshiraman. Hammanglarga bittadan feedback beraman, обязательно. Kim menga jo'natmagan bo'lsa jo'natinglar. Jo'natganlar, demak, agar paper based jo'natgan bo'lsanglar, computer based qilib boshqatdan yozib jo'natinglar. Va iloji boricha bugunni o'zida bitkazishga harakat qilinglar. Hozir sizlarga ikkinchi mock testni jo'nataman. Hammasini jo'natib olishga harakat qilinglar. If you guys have no questions, savollar bo'lmasa, umuman faqat writingdan emas, umuman qanaqadir savollaringlar, IELTS ga taalluqli savollaringlar, darslarimizni tez kunlarda boshlanib qolish ehtimoli bor, xudo xolisa. Hozir sekin-sekin hamma joylarga ochilishga ruxsat berildi. Menimcha, xudo xolisa 10-da karantin tugagandan keyin boshlashsak kerak. Endi kim qanaqa qilib davom ettiradi, biza o'qidik, gruppamiz o'qimadi deganlar, endi уже boshqa yangi gruppa formirovать qilamiz. Gruppalarga bo'lib tashlayman. Chunki o'qimagan onlayn offlayndagi kursdoshlaringlar, ular boshqatdan o'qish kerak. Onlayndagi birga o'qigan kursdoshlar bilan birga demak o'qiysizlar, davom ettirasizlar. Qanaqa bo'ladi u yoqlarni hali xudo biladi. Endi xudo xolisa hammasi ochilib tezroq yo'li iziga tushib ketsa, keyin уже ko'ramiz qanaqa bo'lishini. Hozircha aniq bitta narsa yo'q, uni yaxshi tarafga qarab o'zgaryapti degan gaplar bor. Chegaralarni ham ochishdi degan gap yuribdi. Endi naskолько bu to'g'ri, men bilmayman. Yes, you can see some things here. Okay, if you guys have no questions, I think I can leave this room, and I will send this video later to you, and then yeah, give you some more mock test. See you guys.